Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Today it's going to be a match between C and Shuttle here on Fighting Spirit. Top left-hand corner is the brown Terran player. It is going to be C. And in the bottom right-hand corner, the yellow Protoss player, Shuttle. All right, man, you both love Shuttle. You both love Shuttle. You love both C and Shuttle. And I figured I'd cast a game between these two. C was featured in Saturday's Brood War cast. C versus Hero. He acquitted himself very, very nicely. He looked really great, so I figured I would pull up another game of his. And you guys have been asking for Shuttle replays. And for those of you who are asking for Flash versus Larva, I've been looking for them, you guys. I've been looking for them. If they play in the ASL or KSL or anything like that, they don't release their replays, and I just have to rely on the kindness of strangers. So if you have access to those replays and you'd like to see them cast by me, send them to me at falconpaladin@gmail.com with the subject of Flash versus Larva, and I would love to cast them for you. I would love to do that. Flash versus Larva would be huge for me. It'd be huge for everybody watching. It would just be a great time. But in the meantime, it's a PvT here. It is not Flash. It is not Bisu. It is just regular old PvT, which I think can generally get really, really interesting. I mean, people do complain a lot about how once the Terran mech really gets going and those tanks show up, it's so hard to break. It is so hard for Protoss to break, but we've seen it done. We've seen it done with Stasis. We've seen it done with Zealot drops. We've seen it done... Actually, we haven't seen it done with Corsair Disruption Web, which I really feel like is a decent answer, you guys. I just feel like it lasts long enough. Oh, by the way, I did cast a game featuring Disruption Web. It was that 2v2, that TOT versus Duskbin 2v2 that I posted last week. Amazing 2v2, by the way. It was a good time. It was a great, great time. And we saw Disruption Web. We saw Lockdown. What else did we see used in that match that we never, ever see used ever? Well, there was one more thing. It was Wraiths. We saw mass Wraiths being used against carriers, which is something you guys have been asking for forever, is like, why the heck don't we ever see Wraiths used against carriers in PvT? And I don't know what the answer is. Ooh, SCV killed and the probe goes down, so that's probably a fair trade. 1-for-1 for both of these players. There, we have a quick Zealot moving out, man. Zealot aggression on the way. Warping in an expansion back home here too is Shuttle. And a Marine here to deal with that Zealot. You almost need a bunker, though. The problem with the bunker is it's not mobile. They can't move around to deal with the Zealot. You can, like, what you want to do is wall off against Zealot aggression or just kite your face off against a Zealot that's showing up here. And, man, 2 Marines versus a Zealot is a rough, rough battle for the Marines. But if they're microed well, they can pull this off. Now, they're going to pull back here. There we go. There's that shot. We need the shots. And the SCV does not need to die here either. Just pulling back, firing on in. Good micro. Good switching the SCVs off, the ones that are hurt versus the ones that are not. And yeah, so the Zealot is going to go ahead and go home. Now that there are 3 Marines, it's extra easy to kill this guy. He's heading on back home. There are no more Zealots on the way. This isn't where Bisu will just send Zealot after Zealot after Zealot against Zerg in a PvZ and just try to wear them down that way. And we've seen him win games with that strategy, where he just goes Zealot attack, just so many Zealots, until the Zerg player capitulates and dies. It's kind of similar to this Ling flooding if you're a Zerg. I don't know there's really a Terran equivalent. Have we ever seen a Terran player win just by flooding Marines and with nothing else, unupgraded Marines, right? No medics, no fire bats, no nothing at an enemy until they die. I don't know. Haven't seen it. Marines are good, mind you. They're not bad. They're just not as easy to flood as compared to Zerglings and Zealots. And I just wonder if that's just... They're not as fast as Lings are, and they don't have the hit points that Zealots do. And the range is nice, but the range in an offensive capacity is not really as important as it is in a defensive capacity, I don't think. Anyway, scouting here is the SCV, trying to see where that Zealot came from. And the answer is the bottom right-hand corner. You haven't scouted there yet, but you'll get there eventually. Mr. Scouting SCV, Engineering Bay on the way for the Terran player. And just not much aggression really on display here, other than that one Zealot. People are macroing up. People are getting their upgrades. We're going Singularity Charge for those Dragoons if we happen to be the Protoss. And here, let's begin our factory production now, shall we? Yes, Factory 1, Factory 2. Machine Shop on the way. We're going to see some Vultures early, into some Tank play next. The Barracks is floating away. Your clear tell. We're just going right on into Mech. There's no reason to pretend we're ever going to play Bio at any level. So let's just deal with that. Pylon coming up. Dragoon, Zealot out, but really just in defensive capabilities here in the early stages of the game. So I'm okay with this. I'm okay with players kind of playing defensively a little bit. Just trying to see, you know, stay alive. Stay alive to the next stage of the game. As Day9 always used to say, the main goal in StarCraft is to stay alive. Make a choice that will let you stay alive, right? Faced with multiple options, go with that one. So there's Vulture's speed. Vulture is fantastic against Zealots, good at laying down spider mines too. Just really making it hard to move out for the Protoss until they get detection. And there is a robotic facility on the way. Observatory is probably going to be next, as he knows there will be spider mines sooner rather than later here. Alright, so machine shop, and supply depots, and another command center, third base on the way for the Terran player. Protoss could probably go for a third down here, or up here at this expansion. It's you can't see this, it's a black screen, but the minimap should indicate what you're dealing with. Now, if you're Shuttle, I almost feel like it's better to get the pressure on early. Oh, he had to kill his own missile turret. Sorry, guy in there. You know, you'd think if that was a dude, they'd be like, hey man, why don't you get down? Why don't you climb down from your chair before we blow up this missile turret? But I think it's probably just a robot made to look like a dude. Look at this Dragoon spread. What is going on here? Dragoons are spread everywhere. The Vultures try to come out. I guess they're going to take free shots, but there's really nothing to see here. This tank does not have siege mode yet. Cannot siege you. The bunker is full of 4 Marines, which is problematic. But this is where you set up. This is where... Oh, the Vultures, though. Ow, 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 ow. Ow, one of them picked off. Another one taking shots. That speed makes it so hard to catch them, though. But 2 Dragoons and a bit of a wall off at the front door here, too. So the Vulture's not going to be able to do much. Does it have spider mines yet? It doesn't. It does now. It's almost there. Ugh. Almost with that upgrade and just barely gets it. 1 spider mine goes down. Takes a shot before... Oh god, dodge it. Oh, did that work? That worked. That was some good micro by Shuttle. Another one getting burrowed into the ground here, and I think the Vulture is not getting out is the problem. He's dead. Yeah, he completely... Look at this bait here. Oh my gosh. Oh, I don't think that hit either. Shuttle. Oh, the Gosu micro there. I used that in Saturday's cast, that term, and somebody commented and said, I haven't heard that in a long time, Falcon. Thanks for the reminder. Yeah, man, Gosu micro. Gosu used a lot in StarCraft 2 early casting. Wings of Liberty, I believe. Husky used it a lot. HD used it a lot too. I don't know if it's actually something that is used in the Brood War community as much, but the term is Korean. So, I don't know. I'd imagine it would be. Anyway, Observer pushing on out across the map here. We're going to go ahead and observe the presence of spider mines in particular locations. That is the sound of siege is done for C. Where are our additional factories, man? This is where they are. This is where you ramp into additional factory player, going for upgrades on your armories. Dragoons pushing on in here as well. And it's looking pretty good. I like this Dragoon push, but the tank count is just starting to get a little bit too high. There are 3 tanks covering this ramp, this little bridge. It's going to be hard, right? Going to be really hard for the Dragoons to push in here and really get much done. They don't have upgrades yet, right? Yeah, no upgrades yet. Nothing on the way. Arbiter Tribunal already in production for Shuttle. He knows that recalls are huge. And look at this, the Zealot drops. The Zealot drops are here. Tanks getting cleared out. 3 tanks, 4 tanks. Okay, there are still a bunch of tanks here. I really don't agree with Shuttle's decision to try to wander into this area. He's getting wrecked. SCVs are buffering a little bit there. Observer getting picked out of the sky. Almost dead, but not dead yet. And held by C. So great job there by the Brown Terran player. Third base is established and happily running. Third base warping in for Shuttle. Observer comes in to see what's up, and third base already here, eh? Yeah, that's what observers sound like, by the way. I know that, you know, when you click on them, they make like robotic beeping sounds, but if you translate that into English, it's very Groucho Marx style stuff. Very like 1930s gangster things there. I don't know what to tell you about it. What the heck? Why are you killing your own building so much, C? Seriously, man, what is going on? Why do you need this open? Or do you want to build something else there? I don't know. Anyway, more Dragoons are pushing out here. Dragoons are the backbone of the Protoss army in TVP or PVT. Oh, these guys, they keep darting out. They're so fast, you can't even like click on them. You can't even get a beat on them. Got one. Got one. He's holding still, though. That doesn't count. They're also holding still. Are you still trying to break through here? Man alive. Taking a lot of tank fire just to try to whittle down this tank count a little bit. Oh, that spider mine did finish off the Dragoon. That was hilarious. That guy was coming in for a while there. coming in for a hot minute, as the kids like to say. Is that what the kids say? That's what the kids say. I have kids. I know. Observer moving out again. Just try to see what's going on. Just spider mines, man. Just spider mines and vultures running off into the night. Tanks pushing out. I don't know about this. Not even in siege mode here. Not getting that range splash damage. Oh, now the surround. Vultures actually fighting against dragoons, which is not something you see a lot. But if you outnumber them 5-1, it's actually not a bad fight for vultures. And after 1,000,000 shots, somebody want to count that? How many shots does it take a vulture to kill a dragoon? It feels like around what it takes a corsair to kill an overlord, which is 42. Maybe a little bit more considering the regen ability of the overlord as it's being shot at. I guess the same thing applies to dragoons because they have shields. Anyway, stasis being researched on the Arbiter Tribunal for our friends the Arbiters. A bit of a wall set up here. Tanks say, I've never seen a wall we don't like knocking down. Look at this Arbiter already out, man. Throwing up that cloaking field, too. There's a missile turret up. Another missile, a forward missile turret here by C. Gee willikers, man. Alright, so tank wandering in. Actually sets up in range of that cannon, which is bad. And might actually die. Oh, almost. Almost super dead there. Dragoons trying to pick off, I guess, come from the backside. And the front side. Going for the bit of a sandwich here. Oh, he's got the cloak, but the missile turret's detect. This third base is in a lot of trouble right now. Yeah, man. C. Gonna go ahead and take down this third base while expanding to a fourth base himself in the top right. This is looking really, really bad for Shuttle. I wonder if maybe rushing to Arbiter hurt him. I wonder if it made him less able to hold against this push because he went for Arbiter, teched up to that, used the resources on that research and those units, and they really haven't done much for him at this stage. Usually we don't see Arbiter until about the 15-20 minute mark, and he went for it at the 10-minute mark, which is crazy fast. Alright, so third base is warping in by our friend Shuttle on the right side. I know it says Eyewater, but it is. It's Shuttle. It's part of a larger Shuttle replay pack, and he's been sitting here at about 2:30, 2:58 p.m. this entire game, and he got to Arbiter in 10 minutes. So it's definitely Shuttle, for those of you who are wondering. Going for Recall, Arbiter ability that is real nice too for offensive attacks into a Terran who otherwise is impossible to break because they're turtling so hard with their tanks and whatnot. Is if you can slip an Arbiter in, your Recall in here and start wiping out SCVs and supply depots and stuff, and it's fantastic. Alright, so Vulture's just getting driven by here. Well, they're performing the drive-by, but they're getting shot, which is kind of a weird dynamic. But yeah, hear those tanks setting up? I hear all those tanks setting up. It's 160 to 120 supply. Coming on in, dude. If you can get that missile turret, then maybe we can make this thing work. Alright. So here's your... Oh, another missile turret is up, though. That's so problematic. Good stasis on a lot of these units, but still too many tanks remaining. Dragoons are pulling back. Vultures are assisting. Once again, Vultures don't want to do this fight, but if they outnumber the Dragoons by a lot, they will. Spider-Mine taking out another Dragoon. This Shuttle has nothing in it, and it is severely injured. This is looking super bad. Real bad for Shuttle, you guys. I know you talk about how TVP is imbalanced in favor of Terran. I'll see it in the comments. And by the way, I read every single comment that anybody ever puts onto my channel on any of my videos. I've read every one that's ever been posted on any of my 2,000 videos that are up there now. So if you want to get in contact with me, that's not a bad way to do it. Man, Vulture is trying to do more stuff. Look at this spider minefield. This belongs to C now. This land belongs to the Terran player, no question. Kadaran core plus 50 Arbiter energy, including 12 starting energy. When you make a new Arbiter, how's that for fancy? 159, 165 to 116 supply right now. It's just, you're outnumbered. I'm sure the Arbiter is nice tech for you, I get it. But man, I don't know if you can dislodge him from this corner of the map just with Dragoons and just with Arbiters, Shuttle. What else are you working on? Just that, basically, Arbiters and Shuttles. Thanks for asking, Falcon. I'm going to continue on with that tech. I mean, this is the one saving grace that Shuttle has, is this base at the 3 o'clock position. But, man alive, sitting on 4, happily sitting on 4 right now is C. And if you're outbased by a Terran as a Protoss, it's a horrible place to be, and it's hard enough to win if you're on even economy. But when the Terran is up, it's so difficult to do. Some Zealots being produced now. I kind of like that, Zealots to break this, right? It's just the spider mines do so well against them. You need Dragoons to clear them out. They have to get close enough. I don't know. Oh, the fourth base by C is entirely undefended here. Hello. Hello, Governor. This is looking real horrible for all of these SCVs. Is there anything that can save this? No. There's not even army movement trying to save this thing. It's just this. These guys are pushing out for a giant attack. The 4th base is gone. I really don't know that C cares at this point. He's up 191 and 163 supply. He's losing a ton of SCVs and a ton of income. Are any SCVs going to escape from this location? No. Definitely not, but this is the scary thing. We're looking at +2, +1 tanks, +2, +1 vultures. Just pushing on in here. Pushing hard in. Setting up in siege mode. Decent stasis on 3 of the tanks, but there are still about 10, it feels like, that are in siege mode right now. Trying to come in, spread so the splash damage doesn't hurt as much. Actually, Zealots crushing on through the bottom here. Doing pretty well, but reinforcing tanks are showing up. That said, do they have detection against these cloaked units? I don't think they do. And by golly, Shuttle is forcing his way back into contention in this game. 140 to 141 supply. It is even. He's going to go ahead and throw down a 4th base of his own in the top right. And suddenly he's out basing C. Shuttle. What a boss maneuver there. Wipes out a 4th base. Holds a big push there with stasis and cloaked units. Look at him standing in. Look at him standing in with the cloak. Where's the scan? There's the scan. Alright, so now the scan's a problem, but stasis catches those tanks. These guys, are they out of stasis? There we go. Now they're out of stasis. Get in that minimum attack range. Oh, and there's the cloak too. So tanks, bam, 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 bam. Tanks getting whittled away here by invisible dragoons that they cannot see. Look at this arbiter. Mwah, mwah. We're going to hit you with our, I don't know, our ping pong ball of attack. It just reminds me of a ping pong ball. What is up there? No. What is that? What is up there? Oh, it's an SCV. He's hiding. He didn't escape, but he's not dead. So that counts for something. There's finally science vessels out. So science vessels provide that permanent detection that you really need if you're coming against an Arbiter playing Protoss player, which a high enough level, that's always the case. And now being pushed back is our friend Shuttle. Base on the left side, by the way. SCV's trying to transfer down here, taking some shots in the process, but actually most of them coming through rather unscathed, which good for them, but you just kind of led the Dragoons to this location. Are you aware that you did that? And probably not. 150 to 132 supply. Shuttle has the lead, but we've seen situations before where Protoss are up in supply and can't deal with the tank count as it continues to increase ever higher and get better and better upgrades. 3-3 is on the way for tanks right now. Dragoons sitting at +2 attack and no armor upgrades at all, which, I'm going to be honest, I don't know if it makes a difference versus tanks. If you have +3 tanks, if you're like +3 armor Dragoons versus +0 armor Dragoons, I think you just die anyway. I really don't think you can survive a shot against +3 tanks regardless, but I could be wrong. I could be totally wrong. Hey, look who's coming into your 4th base. That does have some cannons. Thank goodness for static defense. Seriously. All right, so the vultures are going to come in, and they're going to set a bit of a contain with the spider mines. Again, floaty units don't trigger that. Probes, drones, SCVs. And here comes nothing. Coming up on the left side, we've got Zealots. We got Dragoons. The stasis is really great. Catching 5 of these tanks drastically, reducing their number and then pushing through the stasis bodies of these tanks to attack into a gajillion more tanks that C has set up over here. But this is a lot of Dragoons, actually. This is some pretty good stuff right now. Tanks are starting to fall. There are less than a gajillion now. There are now 3. I can count them because there are only 3. They're all gone now. Dude, is Shuttle going to win this thing? Shuttle was in a terrible spot not 5 minutes ago, and suddenly he's turned the tables so effectively. I can see why Shuttle is some of your guys' favorite players. Some of your guys' favorite player. Yeah, that's how English works. Yeah, man, so tank down, bop, bop. We even kind of staggered the stasis a little bit, so the tanks didn't all come out at once, and now you can push into this 4th base along the left side. I know there's a tank here. Look at these SCVs actually buffering and keeping the Dragoons from coming up that ramp. Nice play. Nice play by C. Big army pushing out here from our friend Shuttle. I keep thinking this is army. It is now, but a lot of it was just spider mine for a while. And this 4th base is in trouble for Shuttle. He's going to lose this thing. He's going to lose this thing for sure. All right, so that said, base versus base here. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, 4th base for both players at this stage. There's no saving either one of these. I want to say they're just going base for base for base. A lot of SCVs are getting killed, though. And that's kind of the difference here. I don't know that a lot of probes have died, but a lot of SCVs have died. The worker count cannot be healthy for C right now. Coming on in. More tanks are here because, of course, more tanks are here. We're playing against a Terran player, man. Terran is always making tanks. They're never not making tanks. They're triple pumping tanks right now. Where's the Arbiter? Good stasis. And alive. The tank count is 0 here now. It's just Vultures fighting, which do so bad against Dragoons. No, don't lose the Arbiter. Don't lose the Arbiter. Lost the Arbiter. Okay, well, that was problematic, but this base is slowly being shelled. Reinforcements are forced to come in here. The natural base is under assault by these Dragoons. Do they have armor upgrades yet? No, just +3 attack. No sign of going for armor at all here is Shuttle. It's 126 to 121 supply. This is a scrappy match. This has officially crossed over into scrappy. When multiple bases have died, and there's not a lot of units at the 20-minute mark, you know it's a scrappy match. So we're 3-basing it to 3-basing it right now. It is 139 to 126 supply overall in favor of the Protoss player Shuttle. And once again, just hunting down these Dragoons with Vultures. The Vultures have better upgrades. They've got that 3-3 rocking, where it's just 3 attack for Dragoons, as we mentioned previously. And especially if the tanks show up, those guys are completely dead. Now, can you... Yes, a Zealot going to wander up and actually end up saving this base, I think. So Dragoon, or Zealot versus tank. Oh, Zealot wins. But Zealot number 2 finishes him off. That's actually pretty close. It's not bad. Again, no armor upgrades for the Zealots and +3 armor for the tanks. Kind of makes a difference there. Long distance mining are these SCVs because we're mined out for the main. There's only one mining base here for each of these players. There are no minerals anywhere for any of these guys. Great Sim City though. Natural base and a main base there. So slowly pushing through the spider mines, reestablishing the 4th base being reestablished over here too. Gonna fly the command center in from the main. No, actually just, this is the one that I think flew off earlier and did manage to survive. Meanwhile, Vultures cruising on in here to the natural base, trying to kill some stuff. Enough Zealots are here to make them pause just a little bit anyway. Man, this setup really... C is dedicated to making sure that Shuttle never, ever gets that base, or it's very hard for him to do so anyway. So 3rd base is... It would land if the SCVs would get out of their stupid way. And in fact, they do, and we connect. And now, look at the spinning little satellite dish here on the ComSat station. That's nice. Observer cruising on in. See what it can see. Not much there. And yeah, both players just kind of doing our dance. EMP, beautiful. EMP on a lot of those Dragoons, completely removing all of the shields before this big battle. Good stasis. Zealots crushing on in here. Tanks on the backline are doing a bang-up job, though. Vultures fighting against the Zealots on the ground too. Another gorgeous stasis here. Is there another EMP available on that science vessel? Yes, defensive matrix on a tank instead. 121 to 110 supply. C is up. Actually, if we just head down and maybe wipe out this 4th base, that's going to be worth it. This attack maybe it wasn't the greatest thing. EMP on the Arbiter and then shooting with the Charon booster upgrade is just adding insult to injury. A lot of these SCVs are going to die. Lifting off the command center again. They are fleeing quite effectively, though. I don't think the command center is getting home. There's too many Dragoons on the ground and there's nothing else for them to shoot. They don't prioritize killing floating command centers, but there's nothing else to do. They'll take it down, and there it goes. So 4th base for 4th base, but the 4th base is back for Shuttle and gone once again for C. I don't know, man. I'm kind of throwing my eggs all in the Shuttle basket right now, although bottom left-hand corner has been taken by C. Look at him just transferring the SCVs down. No big deal. We're just here to mine some minerals. What is defending this? Handful of tanks. Okay, 4 tanks. And a couple Vultures. I mean, do you want to attack up that ramp? I really don't know that you do. More army popping on out here. More army popping out of the Terran player too. And we are just... It is so neck and neck right now. Does Shuttle want to get in here? I don't know that Shuttle wants to come up this ramp. This is a really problematic place to be. The missile turrets are up. There's the detection. And yeah, that is too many tanks. That is too many spider mines. That is too much stuff. But clearing this out, probably a little bit easier, honestly. Ooh! Getting the Observer. The Observer death sound is one of those nostalgic sounds for me. Anyway, stasis up and actually breaking through here. is Shuttle. He's dying a lot, but Zealots are getting in here on top of the tanks. This one Vulture can't stop this from happening, especially because he's dead now. And wow, we're going to clear out this entire bottom left-hand corner. These SCVs are refugees from that 4th base location. The 5th base is going to go down similarly right now. Army's maybe going to try to respond to this. I'm trying to watch the minimap and see. Yes, there's a bunch of brown coming this way, but that's so many dead SCVs. That is so many dead workers. Are any of them going to get out? No. Nope, definitely not. This is... Oh, the income is all gone here too. Holy smokes, C is done. C is done economically right now. He has no income at all. 15 minerals in the bank. The good news is he can lift off bases and land them other places. This one base, mind you, that he has, that he lifts... Wait, where did this one go? Oh, it's going to land over here. All right, so Shuttle's back to having income, everybody. He's going to take a new, I don't know, new 4th base. Oh, he's got this one on the left side, too, that he just landed. All right, man, he's fighting. He's fighting hard. Is C going to be involved in the second epic game in a row? Saturday and Tuesday? No. No flippin' way. Oh, man, that is such a huge stinking army. That is such a huge army coming in to wipe this out. Might just need to recall them out of there. But hey, backside Zealots coming in on top of this thing, too. I mean, that's a lot of Vultures with +3 attack, though, and even the tanks do pretty well against Zealots, as we saw in that previous exhibition. And that's your good game. Shuttle actually taps out there in 26 minutes and 33 seconds, and C is your winner. C winning 2 games in a row on the channel, the first 2 games he's ever featured, and he manages to win this thing. So yeah, it just came down to the fact that Shuttle was never able to get this 4th base up and running. He never even put a nexus here. Period. He's running out of minerals over there. His 4th base is gone. There's a base setup for C at the top and on the left side too. And it's just, that was it. Economically, he was toast. He was down about 50 supply there. Good positioning, bringing this army down. Actually, you know what? I just realized we didn't actually get to see what happened to that 4th base of Shuttle. We saw the army leaving it. Right, so there's your base. Everything's fine. Got our engagements down this way, which we were really paying attention to. This base gets wiped out, and then I'm like, okay, we got a 4th base for Shuttle. Everything looks great. And it did. But then this group came over while we are heading down this way to try to deal with those dudes, and the base ended up getting just immediately wiped out in the space of like a minute. Okay, and then from there. And then from there, it's just going to be a C win. So, wow. Really fantastic game. Good back and forth. Again, anytime multiple bases die and we have like 100 supply for each player at the 20-minute mark, it's a good game. It just means a lot of stuff has died. A lot of action has been happening. I mean, okay, it could also mean it's a lower level game and nobody can macro well enough to really get up a full supply, you know, a full maxed out army in 20 minutes, but that's not what the case is here, obviously. So let's check out that final score. Again, I just want to point out, great use of EMPs by C. The tanks, the upgrades were so good. I just wonder how much not getting these upgrades mattered for Shuttle. He never tried. He never tried to get those upgrades. They never even started in a 25, 27-minute game, so I don't know how much they could have mattered, but somebody in the comments will know. We will examine that. Alrighty then, let's go to our final score, where it looks pretty good here, man. Units killed about 290 here for our friend Shuttle, and 249 or 242 for C. C even lost more, so more cost efficient here. But just economically, it was the problem, right? So mined 2,000 more gas, 1,300 more minerals, and spent 5,000 more resources. Yeah. Than Shuttle did, and that's a big deal. So great job by C making it happen here against one of the better Protoss players on Earth, and gets the win. So we gotta cast more C. We gotta cast more C. He's great. I like him a lot. All right, that's going to be it from me. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.